this test is really doing two things. First of all, it's allowing the patient to see what the doctor sees. This is one screening that a doctor will do during a whole dry eye evaluation. This technology called LipiView is doing two things. It's showing the doctor the quantity of the lipid or the oil, and it's also testing for partial blinks. Now, when I first heard about this, I'm like, what are partial blinks? Most of us think that we blink fully all the time. This screening test allows us to see if a patient more or less blinks full or not. Patients that don't blink completely basically have more dry eye symptoms than others. Okay, so what this allows us to do is actually look at Joy's right and left eye here, and it's going to measure, okay, the quantity of lipid, and also is going to show partial blinks. So when we look in this eye right here, see partial blinks 1 out of 8. So in that 20 seconds that test took, 8 times, okay, she blinked. 1 of those was a partial blink. When we move over to the other eye, we have the 8 blinks as well. 5 of those were partial blinks. That's important. When a doctor reads this, he's going to educate a patient about this, and then he's going to continue to go on and do additional testing.
Hold on one second. I want you all to see how the light is breaking up on this white part of the eye. I already know that she's going to be dry right there instead of seeing a smooth surface. So there's a lot of things that we see also. But go ahead on. Keep going.
So basically, the doctor will then look at the numbers here, and it calculates, and it kind of gives him a grading system. So right there, he kind of sees that, educates the patient on that, puts that as a permanent, in their file. They could have a copy of this as well. And then from there, he's going to go ahead and look closely now, just like those pictures you saw up on that screen, at those glands. And he's going to actually grade those secretions that are coming out. They should have secretions, if they haven't died or atrophied, that are clear like olive oil. If they're not, he's going to grade those, and he's also going to see how many glands are working, how many glands are clogged, and how many glands are dead. And that is where the whole education comes into a patient to see if they truly have this MGD, meibomian gland dysfunction. He'll then let you know if you're a true candidate for the LipiFlow technology, which is the actual treatment of this gland dysfunction that we're going to have and be able to observe next.
And this basically, again, is just like a big
Y'all want to come
contact
watch
lens.
us go in? Come over, just walk.
Is it at the same, both eyes at the same time?
Yeah,
Like
the same
yes.
thing.
Typically,
Yes.
yes.
Usually the same.
She does.
Yeah, y'all come over, I'll get all.
Don't be shy. We're family here.
Come on in there.
You can watch in the office. You gotta show up. You see, now it's totally. How does it feel, Cassie? Talk as you're doing it, if you don't mind.
No, it doesn't hurt.
You're supposed to say it feels great. I mean, it doesn't
Him
hurt.
putting it in does not feel
Haven't gotten to that
great.
point yet.
Is it in?
Yeah.
Say so. I don't even know.
So you remember the drawing, so you can see it's in her eye. So now we tell them that you will hear. First, you're gonna hear sounds. And first, it's gonna. If y'all come around and watch the screen, I want everybody to see the screen. It's because you're gonna see as it starts turning on, it's gonna start heating up. That sound you hear, that's air going into the bladder, and she can feel a little bit of squeezing, but it doesn't do anything yet. And as she hears that air, it's going to warn, okay, now it's coming, and you feel this, and it just feels very good. So you can see it's at 98, 99. Look at the bottom right. It's telling you how hot it's getting on that. Can you feel it? It's getting warm? What are you feeling now?
I just feel it warming up.
I know you got to sit back and enjoy the last one. You're going to have to talk during this one. They want to know what you're feeling.
The only way that I could describe it after having my right eye done was when you've been here all day and your eyes are on fire and you go home and you get a really hot washcloth to where you're going to burn your skin and you put it on your eyes and it feels so good for just a few seconds, but then it cools off. It feels like that for 12 minutes.
So you see she's at 108.5 degrees, and that's what we have to, all the tests showed you have to get it 108 degrees in order to melt the modulin through the lids. But it's
It
protected.
doesn't feel hot
It
on
just
your
feels
eyes.
warm. Oh no, it feels.
It feels like a hot washcloth.
Does anybody
else use the bead mask? I use it
Yes.
twice a day.
Oh, no, they do that, everybody, yeah, we want you to use that. The problem again with masks again is you gotta go from the
Yeah,
outside
but
in.
it's real hot at first, it cools off
Yeah.
real fast.
And it's, like I said, we love the mask, as you know.
So would that be something you would do after one of these lippy flows? You'd have them use the mask regularly?
No, because you don't have to.
After?
We've already melted,
You know, I wouldn't have to do that anymore.
No,
How about sleeping with the cute little,
with the water glasses I have on?
no, just a little, it's just a little mask you sleep in. Just a,
The one I gave you, the mask, yeah, you don't need, now again.
Well, I have a CPAP though, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only thing with CPAP, I don't want that air blowing in your eye. So I would probably leave there. Remember, everybody's different. So
Yeah.
she has a CPAP machine, which is a sleep apnea machine, and the air blows into your eye. Remember I said about drying your eyes out? So we have her in a sleep mask that keeps the air out of her eyes.
Was it massaging you?
You know,
I
you'll hear
can
it.
start to feel like a little bit, but it's not really good.
So what are you looking at when you're looking at the screen? What's going on there?
Oh, well, I don't care. I'm not looking at anything. We can see this is, it's showing the time, it's showing how much pounds per square inch. You can see it's going to climb in a minute. And you'll hear, it'll start saying, you'll hear zzz, zzz. Y'all will hear it in the machine as it starts. Right now it's warming up the gland and just slowly squeeze it. As you don't feel the slow tightness. She's going to feel when it starts pulsating. It actually rolls up.
So
Starts
just,
to
do you actually get stuff coming out of the glands?
Oh
from
yeah,
this?
it's draining the whole
Wow, and where's all that go?
into the tears and just they get dissolved. Remember, it's already heat up. It's liquefying that monitor.
So
And that's what it's supposed to do.
so if I could chime in, so basically what this device is doing now is it's unclogging those glands. Now you realize these glands that are clogged haven't worked correctly in a certain period of time. So not only are we liquefying that oil, then we'll start to clear it out. And as this device continues, and you'll hear it start to do multiple pulses here shortly, what it's doing is it's ideally just using warm heat to squeeze the glands, sucking out that clogged pore and really starting to get it working the way it should. Post-treatment, each and every day, that gland, you got to realize it hasn't worked in probably quite some time. So
And
now
you-
it's going to start working.
You can see right now it's growing in pressure on her eye. As it starts stepping stone, you'll start hearing it now, and she'll tell you. Tell us when you start feeling the pulsation. There's one.
You can actually hear it.
That's what boom.
Actually, pulls it out and it goes back into your eyes.
It's really
Melted.
an eye massage.
Melted.
It really is. And the patient, just like Dr. Schaefer said, they're just relaxing. 12 minutes, their eyes are shut. They're just kind of chilling out there. Some offices play soft music, some light a candle. It's really a spa-like experience. One thing I'd like to add is as soon as this 12-minute treatment's done, that patient can resume normal activity that day. Drive a car, go back to work, go out, enjoy their day.
What it felt like or meant to not be aware of your eye. I guess that's the thing to me. Like, I'm not aware of my right eye anymore. Whereas I was constantly aware of it before 3 weeks ago. So I'm really excited to not be aware of my left eye. Because then my left eye started bothering me way more than my right.
This is the only one in Alabama. This is the first time holding it a year. And again, I wanted it a year ago. I mean, I've had this done. Mine was done over a year ago, and I saw this a year and a half ago. But I couldn't pull the trigger on spending the money. And then, again,
So, right, because of the cost, that is something that's a big factor, not only
For
for your
me and for
practice,
you,
but also
and
right
for
for
the
the
patient.
Does
consumer to
insurance
come in,
ever
so-
pay for it?
no. Because, you know, especially with affordable care, they're not going to add any new procedures, that elective procedures. They just won't do it. And the company doesn't even, they're not even trying to, you know, if the company's not behind it, they can't even do it because right now they're selling every unit they have. I mean, you know, there's a waiting list to get these units. So if anything,
And you can use care credit though.
yeah, so we have a care credit card where you can do that. And like I said, having,
So will the procedure be administered by a technician or actually a doctor?
the doctor
Just
always
like
places
this?
the lens in the eye and removes the lens out of the eye. The technician will stand here. We always have an assistant and someone's always in the room with you. And right now there's just 2 or 3 because everybody's watching it get done.
So what side effects, if any, could someone experience?
None. There's not been one single side effect reported through the whole FDA study and through the 100 units that are out there around the world today. It's probably 70 in the United States, 30 units are outside the country that were placed in the original